Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Hi. Welcome to Unity of New Westminster. Merry Christmas. It is so wonderful to see you all here on a Christmas morning when you could just as easily be in your pajamas, drinking eggnog and spiced rum. Oh, no, it's too early for that. For coffee, specialty coffee. Don't leave. Don't give Walt any ideas. He'll be gone. Would everyone please stand as we sing our opening song today, Angels from the Realms of Glory. Thank you. Please be seated. Welcome, everyone, to Christmas Pageant version 2. As you all know, last week was the original plan for the Christmas pageant, and Mother Nature had other ideas for us, and so we had a snow day, which was also really fun. And so today, on Christmas Day, we are doing our very first interactive, no rehearsal Christmas pageant. So welcome, everyone, to this exciting adventure. I am quite interested to see what we're going to do together. I am Reverend Rona Segura, and it is my pleasure and privilege to be the minister here at Unity of New Westminster. This community of love and support and laughter and fun and joy and growth and evolution and all that combines into this most marvelous, wonderful community. If you are joining us for the first time online, perhaps, then please subscribe to our channel, subscribe to our newsletter, and we would love to stay connected with you. And for all of you who are here, I know you had other ideas or other plans that you could have been doing today on this Christmas morning, so thank you for being here. The Unity Movement offers ideas, empowering ideas for full and abundant living. We draw on the teachings of Jesus, who we consider our primary way shower and example. And we honor that there is wisdom in faith traditions all over the planet. All are welcome here. All are worthy here. All are celebrated here. Let us begin our service in a time of grounding and centering prayer. As we gather here today, we give thanks that we gather in physical form on the traditional and ancestral territory of the Kakite First Nation. And we are so grateful for this land and for First Nation peoples everywhere and their custody of it. We know that at this time, there are many faith traditions celebrating. And we acknowledge that there is only one power, that by whatever the God of our understanding may be, that we are all part of that God, that we are all one, connected and interconnected. Whether our understanding has the name God or Allah, Yahweh, Creator, Quantum, the Force, Mother Nature, the universe. Thousands of names, one power. And it is in that power that we all live and breathe and move and have our being. It is in that one power that we are all connected, and it is from that power, as that power, that we send a blessing of love, of peace, of contentment, of healing to every being on this planet. We set aside the labels that divide us and see deeper to our unity. And on this Christmas morning, we send a blessing to all. We are so grateful to be here. And so it is. Amen. Barb, would you like to read the daily word for us today? Pardon? She's frosty about it. You'll see what I mean.
Good morning. With joy I welcome Christmas. Far from home, Luke's gospel story tells us Mary and Joseph welcomed the child with only a stable filled with animals as a birthing place and feeding trough for a cradle. This story reminds me that no state of consciousness is too humble. No station in life is too lowly, and there is no fear that cannot give way to wonder. Wherever it finds a willing, welcoming heart, the Christ will be born. No matter how I am celebrating Christmas, I will carry this awareness with me. Today I feel the dawning of promise and potential in me, as I feel the Christ presence within me afresh and anew. This is the greatest gift I could ever receive and the best gift that I have to give. And she gave birth to her firstborn son and wrapped him in bands of cloth and laid him in a manger, because there was no place for them in the inn. Luke 2, verse 7.
Thank you, Fred. And Freya, will you stay to help light the candle?
Sure.
Yeah, thank you. I'll tell you when, okay?
Yeah, sure.
Those ones.
I'll let you on fire.
Try not to light me on fire. That would be... I'm the light of the world, but I don't need to prove it that way. This week marks the 4th out of the 4 weeks of Advent. In fact, now we are in what they would call the end of Advent as we celebrate Christmas Day. And what we have done in the past 3 weeks, 2 weeks, and then we had snow, 3 weeks, and then we had snow, is we have lit a candle every week for one of the attributes that we show to the world when we are aware of the Christ light, of that divinity that is always within us, that light of the world that is always within us. And so today, we're going to light the Christ candle first, to remind ourselves that that light is always alive and awake in us. So would you please light the white candle?
Sure.
Thanks.
I got it.
I know you do. I know it works. There. Thank you.
No, is it, yeah?
No, I want you to hang out with me. And then we light the purple candle, the shortest purple candle. This is the candle for faith.
This one?
That one back there. It reminds us of the light that we bring to the world when we approach life with a sense of peace and calm. Oh, sorry, read wrong. Faith, hope, optimism, faith. The next one, next shortest, which would be that one over there, Freya, reminds us it is the candle for peace. And it reminds us of the light that we bring to the world when we approach life with a sense of peace and calm. And then the next purple candle is the candle for love. And that candle reminds us of the light we bring to the world when we approach life with a sense of warmth and kindness for every person. And then last week we didn't have the opportunity to because of snow day. We would have lit the candle for joy, which is pink. So would you light that one, please? And this candle reminds us of the light we bring to the world when we approach life with a sense of fun and playfulness. You did it. Yay.
You don't bother.
Thank you, sir.
Amen.
Amen. Well done. Thank you. And I mentioned earlier that at this time across the planet, people are celebrating in various ways. And last week was the first day, Sunday was the first day of the Jewish celebration of Hanukkah. And so I'm going to ask Gary Rosenberg to come up and tell us a little bit about Hanukkah. And he's going to bring his emotional support sheep with him. Awesome. You'll need this, Gary.
Oh, microphone and everything, this could be dangerous.
Yeah, can you make it up there?
Probably. Here we go.
Try not to slip on yours.
No, that wouldn't be fun.
Yeah.
Okay, so interesting things about Hanukkah. And that is, one of the things is that it happened exactly about 139 years before the story of Jesus. And in Jerusalem, the Greeks had taken over, and for a while that was okay. But then, as time wore on, they wanted the Jews to assimilate and worship their gods rather than one God. And it got to the point where literally they were pushing this one rabbi, the rabbi from the great temple, to either worship, to have statues of Apollo and Zeus, or die and have the temple destroyed. And this guy's name, his last name was Maccabee, and he had 7 sons, and the leader of them was Judah Maccabee. And basically, they did something rather amazing. They won over the Greeks, much bigger army and everything else. And that was the warrior aspect of it. But the funny thing is, it's not what Hanukkah is known for. That isn't even in the Old Testament. And it's after the battle was won, after the Maccabees had won out, there's in the temple, in the Jewish religion, you're always supposed to have a candle lit. And it stands for, same as the yarmulkes that Orthodox and conservative Jewish men wear, to show your devotion to God, to show that there's always a light above you. Now, unfortunately, when the Maccabees returned to the temple, all the supply of olive oil to keep the lamp lit was ruined and destroyed. It was a mess, and there was just one lamp. There was just a little bit in the lamp that was burning, and it would take 8 days to go and replenish the supply of olive oil. Now, the Jews are traditional people, and what they did was rely on their traditions to keep them going in the darkest of times. They said the prayers, they had the lamp lit, and I mean, amazing courage to know that, to be able to stick with that, with no hope at all that the lamp will stay lit. Then 2 days came, then 3 days came, then 4 days came, and the lamp was lit. And then you have just this amount of hope that goes with the idea of tradition and faith. And then 5 days, and 6 days, and then 7 days, and then the 8th day came, and it lasted. And can you imagine that faith is fulfilled, and the hope's realized, and that you can actually realize that you can rebuild where it was destroyed before? I mean, and that's what every religion that has a celebration this time of year, it all has to do with, during the darkest of times, finding the light. And what's happening in the northern hemisphere, but winter, where it's the darkest time. We just got through the solstice, which was the shortest day of the year, the darkest day, the darkest 24-hour period. And what you do, you slowly find more light and keep the light burning. So that's why Hanukkah is celebrated. It's on the one hand, it's the traditional Jewish holiday. They tried to kill us. We won. Let's eat. But on the other hand, it's to celebrate this light coming out of the darkness, and to celebrate what's happening with the year. I mean, face it, historically, it's unlikely that Jesus was born December 25th, but we celebrate it because he was the greatest light coming out of the greatest darkness. So it's when we celebrate, because we all follow traditions, and the greatest tradition is that of the earth spinning in its seasons. Okay, I think that's...
Beautifully done. Thank you.
Now will you tell us about Santa Claus?
Oh, well,
Thank you so much,
that
Gary.
I'd have to go into celebrations of Yule and Odin.
Yeah. We might play with some of that next year. Thank you, Gary, for that wonderful explanation. Isn't it amazing how light and the power of light is something that is found in every faith tradition. Thank you for that education for us. Appreciate it. Yes. So, today we have a very special day, and as a result, I'm going to have, once we start our pageant, I'm going to allow it to flow without any announcements and any of the things that would kind of wake us up out of the enjoyment of the moment. And so I'm going to just share a couple of announcements with you now. The most important one is to remind you that there will be prayer tomorrow at 10:30 on Zoom if you would like to join us. And then next week on January 1st, will be our Burning Bowl celebration. So that's the time that you have the opportunity to write something down that you would like to say farewell to, and then we literally allow it to go up in ashes. And so it is a very powerful ceremony, and I invite you all to be here for that. And then the following week will be our White Stone service at 11 o'clock on Sunday. And that is the service where we then set an intention, or we give ourselves a new name that we would like to follow for the year. And it also is a very beautiful and lovely ceremony. So I invite you to join for that. We also will not be taking an offering, so just know that there is a basket at the back, and there will be one at the front over here. And so on your way out, if you aren't already one of those who gives online and you would like to give today, then you are most welcome to do that. So a couple of things about the pageant before we begin. Some of the people who I had kind of gently tapped to play parts last week are not here today. And so I might kindly, gently tap someone else, and I see some people going, no, please, and others saying, yeah, I'm on it. And so the one thing I do want to let you know is we have 2 scripts here and 2 microphones, 2 wireless microphones. It is important that you speak into the microphone, because it is through the microphone that the people who are watching online can hear. They won't hear you otherwise. So I know for a lot of people, this scares them so much. It really is just a piece of metal that does magic things with sound. So your voice is the thing that it does magic with. So it's just a toy. It really is just a toy. So play with it that way. Okay. Are you ready to begin our pageant? Let's stand and sing, "O Come All Ye Faithful," as we start in on this adventure together. you please be seated? We begin our story in the little town of Bethlehem. And that means that we're going to need some villagers, and that means you. Yeah. The entire congregation is going to be the people of Bethlehem. So every time you hear our villager actors, Moira and Freya, say the words, "It's so bright," you are all going to say, "What's up with that?" They'll say, "It's so bright," and you'll say, "What's up with that?" Awesome. So they may say something like, "I've never seen a star like that. It's so bright." You'd be more surprised than that. Just saying. So, oh, this fits my, thank you.
Thank you, Valerie.
Thank you, Valerie. My Yoda coach. So one evening in Bethlehem, 2 villagers were coming home from work. They were sore and tired from working in the fields all day, but they stopped in the middle of the street and they looked up at the sky.
You know, I'm getting kind of annoyed with this whole star thing. I mean, where did it come from anyway?
I know what you mean, and I can't get away from it. Keeps me awake at night, sleepless nights, because it's so bright.
What's up?
Good question. What is up with that? What's up with a star that just appears out of nowhere?
Will we ever know? Perhaps it's a sign, an omen of some kind. Perhaps something very, very good or very, very bad is going to happen because, you know, it's so bright.
Yeah, I'm not really into the whole omen thing. I'm more, you know, science-based.
I mean, yeah, it does get really witchcraft and very heathen-like, but sure. But the evidence suggests that such a star is likely to bring many things to our little village. People will come here to gaze upon it, to learn about it, because you can't ignore the fact that, guess what, villager of Bethlehem, you want to know what's up? You want to know what's up? It's so bright.
Good question. What is up with that?
Will we ever know?
I have a feeling we'll find out. This is a story which is still unfolding.
Indeed it is. Good job, Moira. Thank you, Freya. Let's rise either in body or in spirit, and let's sing "O Little Town of Bethlehem."
Silent
tagging new people. So we need someone to volunteer to be a cow. Anybody like to go moo? Actually, would you, Leah, would you come up? Because Valerie, I have something in mind for you, and Barbara, I have something in mind for you. So, pardon? Oh yeah, I know. We're going to work with the group as well with cows, not to worry. And then I need someone who is willing to be a chicken. Oh, Gary, come on up. Gary's going to be a chicken. Lindsay, you're going to be a horse.
Oh, where's the horse's head?
I don't, oh yeah, give that one to Lindsay. Please, thank you. So, I have a cow. Gary's going to be a cow. I lost who's who now. You're going to be the cow.
Okay,
right.
Moo.
Okay, now the biggest challenge with this is going to be that we have 2 microphones. And so you're going to have to kind of work in tandem with each other. And your script is going to be there, so we're going to get up close and personal.
We get lines. I didn't know that. Okay.
All right. And then Cliff, you're going to be both the so Lindsay's going to be the horse. I need the chicken. Who's going to be chicken?
Who's got the chicken?
Gary's going to be chicken. Right. Lindsay, oh, the cow. Who's going to be cow? You're going to be cow.
Yeah.
Who's going to be a sheep? I need a sheep. Oh, we can use those microphones.
There's a sheep head down there.
Somebody be a sheep.
There's a sheep head down there.
Oh, thanks, Lyle. Let's see how these mics work. Maybe we can do 4 mics.
Hello?
Oh, that works. Okay.
Hello.
Perfect.
There is a sheep hat
somebody?
on the second row.
Sheep. All right, come on up, Maxine. Yay. We need a bigger stage, yes.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Okay.
Part of the fun of this is just kind of creating it as it goes.
So I'm gonna
Okay.
get on.
Places, everyone. So, while folks in Bethlehem were perusing the sky and wondering, what's up with that?
What's up with that?
There were 2 people who had just arrived in town, Joseph and Mary. They had to go to Bethlehem because of a nasty new tax law, even though Mary was very, very, very close to having her baby. And they had to travel almost 100 miles with the help of a very friendly donkey, Cliff. But in Bethlehem, they found that all the inns and hotels and Airbnbs were full, or they cost too much. Finally, one innkeeper told them that they could that they could stay in the stables with the animals. They called it an Airbnb and B, an Airbnb in a barn. And in that stable, there were cows, chickens, ducks, horses, and sheep, and whatever other animals you feel like being today. But right now, I just heard sheep, I think. So we're going to pretend that this entire room is the stable. You're not getting away with it, you know. That's not just all up here. And so all of you are going to act as animals. Those of you here, Aaron and Barb, you will be cows. In the back left, you will be ducks or chickens. In the back right, you will be the horses. Oh, well done. And on the front right, you will all be sheep. Right. And so, we are going to practice these sounds. So, what sounds are the cows going to make?
Moo.
Moo. What about the chickens and the ducks? And what about horses? You guys do this way too well. And the sheep? That's you guys. Sheep, horses. chickens, cows. Okay, so for this scene, the animals will be played by the people up here, but of course, Mary and Joseph can't understand the animals. They can't understand any of the intelligent words that the animals are saying to each other. And so every time I say, but all Mary and Joseph heard was, you and you will make your animal noises. And so we'll have this wonderful cacophony of sound. And so I may say something like, the animals just kept talking and talking to each other, and all Mary and Joseph heard was, yeah, perfect. You guys do that so well. Okay, so we begin. We've set the scene. The cows, ducks, chickens, horses, and sheep were hanging out in the stable late one night, when all of a sudden the door opened and a man and a pregnant woman and their donkey come inside and started making themselves at home.
Who let them in here? They don't belong in a stable. I am not amused.
Yeah. Who's the quacker? Chicken.
No, okay. Okay, I'll do both. Quack, quack. Yeah, they should be in the barn with the other. They should be in the inn with the other human types. They should be expelled.
Nay, I mean, what were they thinking? Maybe they're not stable? Someone should say to them, hey, guy, surely it's past your bedtime.
They should be locked up and put behind bars. You know what I'm talking about.
But all Mary and Joseph heard was,
You'd think they'd just stay home at a time like this. It's utterly ridiculous.
Yes, yes, I want them to leave. I want them to exit.
They should have made a reservation and maybe saved up some money ahead of time, too. What a nightmare.
I bet the guy is the black sheep in his family. I wonder if he's sheepskate.
but all Mary and Joseph heard was, moo. Your turn again.
They should be removed to a different place.
And with all this commotion, no one has slept. I just looked at the clock, and soon it'll be the quack of dawn.
I hoof a complaint to I wish they'd go back where they belong. All they do is stir up trouble.
Stir up, get it?
Maybe we should ambush them. I'm getting into a bad mood.
But all Mary and Joseph heard was, moo. Finally, the tired old donkey lifted his head. He looked at the barnyard animals, and he said,
Hee-haw, why don't you try it? Why don't you ride 90 miles on the back of a swayback donkey like me when you're so pregnant you can't even see your feet? You try being an expected dad, worried about the woman you love and the child she's carrying. You try being me, watching every step I have to take so I don't jostle this young woman who's just trying to get here safely. You try it.
And the animals felt very, very bad. And secretly, they were all Canadian.
No, they're not.
And so they all said,
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I'll offer them some milk. I'll make the situation go more smoothly.
I'm sorry, I'll lay them an egg. We could have an excellent picnic.
I'm sorry. I take them wherever they need to go. They're likely feeling saddled with a new responsibility. I'll be a good neighbor.
I'm sorry. I'll give them some wool for a blanket. After all, all's wool that ends wool.
But all Mary and Joseph heard was, nice job, everyone. Thank you. Please head back to your seats and let's join in singing the first Noel. We have some awesome actors in here. I'll take it more, maybe, please. Oh, it's Lita. Sorry. We need folks to play a very important role. In fact, we need everyone, the entire congregation, to be the baby Jesus. Now, the first sound that most babies make is a really loud cry. Right. But not this baby. Nope. This baby looks around and he sees his mom and dad for the first time. Then he looks over their heads and he sees the scene that we just saw before the previous hymn. He sees a cow with big brown eyes and a horse with a really long nose and a sheep with a warm fluffy coat and a donkey with big tall ears, and sitting between the donkey's ears he sees the chicken. And so the first sound out of the baby Jesus isn't a cry. It is a big laugh. So every time you hear our honorary innkeeper and his wife say, "What was that noise?" you are all going to laugh. Let's practice. Ha 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 ha. Whatever. Once you start laughing, you'll start laughing at other people's laughing, and that will make you laugh. So I know it feels uncomfortable. That's okay. The innkeeper will say something like, "Gee, I was sleeping nice and quiet, and suddenly I heard something. What was that noise?" Awesome. And so we have our special guest stars, Glenn and Valerie, who are going to be our innkeepers. Here's what's going on. The innkeeper, who told Mary and Joseph that they'd have to sleep in a barn, is now tossing and turning in his bed.
I don't know what it is, but I just couldn't sleep tonight. For one thing, those animals were making a heck of a lot of noise. But just when I finally got to sleep, I thought I heard something. Now, what was that noise?
So the innkeeper woke up his wife, who could normally sleep through just about anything, and asked,
Did you hear something? I'm sure I heard something. What was that noise?
The innkeeper's wife wanted to roll over and go back to bed, but she was curious too. So they both went outside to see what they could find. The streets were empty and silent. Still, they knew that there was something there. And then they both heard it. And the innkeeper's wife said,
What was that noise? There it is again. It's coming from the stables. Let's go check it out.
So the innkeeper and his wife went across the courtyard and through the stable door, and there were Mary and Joseph, who had been kicked out of the inn that afternoon. And the innkeeper said to them,
I'm sorry I made you sleep in the stable. And I'm sorry that I'm barging in on you like this. But I just have to know, what was that noise? Oh my gosh, my gosh. It's your baby.
And the innkeeper realized that it was the newborn baby who had been laughing all along. And suddenly the innkeeper was full of love for this vulnerable little child. And his wife fell in love with the baby too. And the innkeeper said to Joseph and Mary,
I'm going to go and I'm going to tell everyone that you have the most wonderful baby with the most wonderful laugh there ever was.
And the innkeeper ran out into the streets with his wife, and they told everyone the good news. Let's stand now and sing, Go Tell It on the Mountain. Thank you, Valerie. Thank you, Glenn. Thank you.
Shepherds kept their watching, or silent flocks by night. Behold, throughout the heavens there shone a holy light. Go tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain, that Jesus Christ is born. The shepherds feared and trembled when low above the earth rang out the angels' chorus that hailed the Savior's birth. Go tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain, that Jesus Christ is born. Traveled on together to where the babe was laid. Go tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain, that Jesus Christ is born. Down in a lonely manger, the humble Christ was born, and God God sent us salvation, that blessed Christmas morn. Go tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain, that Jesus Christ is born. Go tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain, that Jesus Christ is born. Jesus Christ is born.
Awesome. Thank you. Please be seated. So now we're out in the fields with the shepherds. Have a seat. And they're in for a big surprise because there's a whole host of angels heading their way. So we're going to need some angels. That's all you. Sometimes angels come and talk to us and we don't even know it. If we're lucky, we may hear something that sounds like, ah. So every time you hear me say, and the angel said, ah, beautiful. So I'll say something like, the shepherds didn't know what to do, and they said to the angels, hey, what should we do? And the angels said, ah. Excellent. And so for this scene, we have Aaron and Barb and Diane. Here's the deal. There are 3 shepherds out watching their sheep. 2 of them are, wisely, fast asleep, but one is staring up at that bright star in the sky. Then the shepherd who's awake starts to notice that there are some new stars shining alongside that bright star. Then there are lots of new stars. And the stars start getting bigger and bigger, and the shepherd realizes that they aren't stars at all, but angels flying toward them, getting closer and closer. And the shepherd wakes up the other 2 shepherds and points up to the sky. And all 3 of them fall to their knees as they look up at a whole host of angels hovering in the air. And the angels said, ah.
What did they say?
I don't know. I couldn't understand a word.
They said we have to go to Bethlehem.
Wait. So you speak angel?
Why didn't you tell us?
It's just something I picked up.
And the angels said,
Hey, what did they say this time?
Yay, come on. What's the deal?
Well, loosely translated, something like, do not be afraid, for see, I am bringing you good news of great joy for all the people. To you is born this day in the city of David a Savior, who is the Messiah, the Lord. This will be a sign that for you will find a child wrapped in bands of cloth and lying in a manger.
They said all that?
Very efficient language.
did I miss one?
Wait, there's more.
And the angel said, ah. Oh, maybe we missed a page.
Well,
They said, glory to God in the highest, heaven and on earth be peace, goodwill among people. Come on, let's go to Bethlehem and see what all the deal is about.
Now what?
So they went with haste and found Mary and Joseph and the child lying in the manger. And the angels smiled down upon them, and the angels said, ah, thank you. angels, and thank you, shepherds. Let's join in singing Angels We Have Heard on High as we prepare for our next scene. And so, I would like to invite anyone who has not yet come up onto the stage to be part of our summary scene. And Cliff, you have to come up here because you have to show everyone that amazing costume. But Colleen, Walt, Peter, you don't have to if you don't want to. Gladys, you want to come up? No problem. Gisela? Awesome. Come on up.
Oh, I need my glasses.
Oh, I need my glasses. There's nothing to read. There's nothing to read. Nothing to read. You're all good.
Nothing to read.
You're going to help us remember all of our cues. All of our cues.
Oh, our cues.
So you will be townspeople, and you will be animals, and you will be shepherds, and you will be angels. You will be it all, because you are all. Okay. I may have another microphone here. Here, Freya. You won't actually have to speak unless you want to. Pardon? Gladys needs one. Okay. So,
Hello.
Does everyone remember their cues? Because we're going to do all of them. This will be our refresher of our little story today.
Oh, so this is going to be a medley.
This will be a medley. So everyone came together on the streets of Bethlehem, gathering in a big crowd in front of the stable. And some of the townspeople looked up at the star and said again,
"What's up with that?"
No, it's so bright.
Oh.
It's so
bright.
Maybe we should try that again. The townspeople came out and they looked up at the star and said again,
It's so bright.
Okay, I missed my cue there.
You missed your cue. Well, and then it's okay. Then the animals inside the stable were talking a mile a minute about the new baby and its beautiful laugh. But all Mary and Joseph heard was, pick any animal. And the shepherds were there too, with a host of angels hovering over them. And the angels said,
What's up with that?
and the newborn babe looked up at the people and the animals, and the angels all gathered together on that cold night. And he made that little baby, made a little sound. And the innkeeper and his wife leaned forward. And even though they knew the answer, they whispered with hearts full of love, what was that noise?
What was that noise?
And then you laugh. Try the innkeeper again, Walt. The innkeeper and his wife, that would be you all, leaned forward, and even though they knew the answer, they whispered with hearts full of love,
What was that noise?
and everybody laughed. And I want you all to enjoy the feeling of that laughter as you look around you at this amazing scene of funny animals and goofy costumes and big smiles all around. Amen. What a happy ending. Let's join and sing Joy to the World. Thank you. We're going to move into our final song. And before I do that, I just want to acknowledge, or even as it starts to play, that this script is based on something from the Unitarian Universalist Church in the United States. And then I took it and played with it a little, especially with the puns, of course. But I do want you to know that they are the ones who created that most gorgeous fun script. Let's stand up and sing. That was so much fun. Yes, please. Let's sing our last song.
I am the light of God.
I am the love of God. I am the power of God. I am the presence of God. Wherever I am, God is. You are the light of God. You are the love of God. You are the power are the light of God. You are the love of God. You are the power of God. You are the presence of God. Wherever you are, God is. We are the light of God. We are the love of God. We are the power of God. We are the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is. And all is well. Merry Christmas, everyone. Thank you to all of you for your fun participation. Thank you to Lyle and Edwina, who are in the AV booth and so couldn't really participate, but we couldn't have done this without you. Thank you so much. Please join us for coffee and munchies and food downstairs if you can. Merry Christmas, everyone.